Hi everybody, this is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. I want to do another instalment. This is number 6 of the course called The Amazing Grace. It's Unit 102 in the Home Bible College. And Amazing Grace is really the name of the booklet that this all was developed from, and this is probably the key talk in the whole course. And we could say, well, what actually is grace? Grace. We use the word grace from time to time. It's a word to describe one of the principal ways in which God deals with mankind. And I'm going to illustrate that for you with a little story. Imagine, that you're in the dock and God is the judge. And he brings in the first of 2 witnesses against you. If you're a Jew, then Moses will testify against you. But if you're a Gentile, then Noah will testify against you. Moses will testify against you on the basis of the covenant of Moses. And Noah will testify against you because along with Noah and all his children and all the creatures of the world, he entered with you into a covenant with God which stands today. So whatever is your particular position in life, your witness stands to speak against you. And he says the law is very clear. This person stands guilty on the basis of the fact that he has broken the law of God. And the judge, who is all-knowing, so he knows exactly what is your character, his only question is whether there is evidence to substantiate the accusation. And so an angel comes down and all the books are opened and all the deeds of life are open and they're all read out for all to hear. There is much to commend. There's deeds of selfless devotion. There's kindnesses which are commendable. However, there's one outstanding issue. You're unclean in God's presence. Your deeds were not always good, and hidden motives were not always unselfish. And the sin which you did commit was left uncovered. It was left uncovered. There was no atonement that had been offered, and the covenant relationship, whether under Noah or Moses, remains violated. There can only be one verdict. You're a sinner. You've broken the holy commandments of God, and you're unfit to stand in the presence of God, unfit in every way. And God, who knows your heart, knows every single thing that went on in your mind and heart from the earliest days to your last breath. The witness sits down and the court awaits sentence. However, just before sentence is declared, the judge rises from his seat and he comes down out of his high office, from his high throne. He comes down to the floor of the chamber and he walks across to the accused, to you, and he offers his hand. And it's a nail-pierced hand. The angels gasp and are barely restrained. Many of them hide their faces, and the witnesses sit with ashen faces. Then the judge removes his headdress, and you find him wearing a crown of thorns. He turns and he makes a statement to the court. He declares that on the cross, before he died, all the righteous judgment and indignation of God against sin had been totally and forever done away. It had been exhausted against himself. And he holds up his hands to show the print of the nails. The angels shake their heads. The witnesses weep. The Lord turns to the accused and said, I did all this for you when you had no mind for me, when you hated me without a cause, when you had no idea of who I really was. And now I offer to you a total pardon. The court goes silent. And he says, this pardon is not based on anything that you have done. It's based on the fact that I love you. Admittedly, I find nothing in you to bring favor to the court. You are unclean. You're unworthy. You're undeserving. And sadly, you're ungrateful. But out of a love that I find within my heart for you, I want to extend a pardon based on my grace, not on your sin. You obviously have nothing to your credit, but that's the point. I want to extend towards you unmerited favor. You obviously have nothing to your credit. At that very moment, time stands still. And then he says, looking straight into your eyes, he says, will you accept it? And suddenly hope rises in your heart. Tears of inexpressible joy begin to flow, and through the tears you look into the face of Jesus. And you say, I will. The Father looks on in indescribable joy. The angels gather around, not understanding at all. Satan weeps. The demons scatter. And the Son of God takes you by the hand and states clearly for all the court to hear, this man is not guilty. He has remained just, but he's also become the one who justifies the ungodly. We are living in the day of grace. This is a period of time in which God is doing an extraordinary thing. He's taking sinners, lawbreakers, and forgiving them completely of all their sins, based on what Christ achieved on the cross in becoming the sin bearer for us all. He can do this because of his grace. Grace is the unmerited kindness of God, in which he gives us all his blessings in spite of the fact that we do not deserve it. And that means he can freely forgive all who are unrighteous and unclean and unworthy in his sight. This is something he does completely on the basis of the sinner believing and accepting his grace. It's nothing that we can do to deserve it. There's nothing we can do to earn it. It's by his grace, and it's realized to us simply by acceptance. Well, God bless you. We look forward to speaking to you on our next video. Have a great day.